This week on The Real Word, we're talking about an amended Realtor lawsuit. Nicole hates this.
Love it.
We're talking about zoning changes.
Awesome.
What else are we talking about?
No front doors.
No front doors on Nicole's home. Tune in to watch. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 76 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
The word
How did you
is
know
up.
what number we were on? There's no board.
I looked earlier.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah. Yep. Paying attention here.
Gotta.
Are you going to keep up today?
Trying.
Yeah.
I'm here.
All right. We've got, I believe, an action-packed lineup for this Real Word.
It's a good thing you wore your nice your nice striped sweatshirt for that.
You know, weather's a little gloomy here in Connecticut, and this is a nice, 68-degree golf pullover.
I know, but it's supposed to be like 80 and humid today, so you might be
it's supposed to be 68.
You'll definitely get. No, it's not supposed to be 68 actually at all. But you're definitely gonna have.
Can you zoom in for a second before we start?
You're gonna have some sweat.
The Real
right
Word
now, but
here in Madison. What does that say? Go ahead, zoom in on that.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Let me just flip over to
Oh, no, but look, 70.
We'll crack 70.
70.
So let's just add 10 degrees on top of that.
Well, it was humid. It's supposed to be humid. I feel like once it's humid, it's then you just then you get
I should have bet her first. I should have
sweat everywhere.
won some money off that. All right.
Anyway.
Racket number 1. If you're new to the show, by the way, we do 3 rackets. We talk about 3 real estate topics and say if they're a racket or not, right? So racket number 1, there is a new turn in the Realtor lawsuit.
A new turn.
A new turn.
Wow.
They amended basically the original lawsuit, the class action lawsuit that could upend the U.S. real estate industry by effectively forcing changes in how buyers agents are traditionally compensated has been amended, adding more plaintiffs and defendants and emphasizing the role commissions play in steering buyers and raising costs for sellers. So that's their big claim, is that buyers in the U.S. real estate market are being steered because of buyer broker compensation, which is paid by the selling broker traditionally, and that this is raising the costs for the sellers who know the costs heading into selling their home. There's been a lot of information on this lawsuit. We've covered it. Do you remember which episode? That's what you're here for, to remember the episode.
I'm sorry, do you?
No. Ness, do you remember?
Why would anybody remember the episode?
You can go back. You can go back on our Real Word playlist on YouTube and find the episode. There's also really good content. CNN actually did a really good overview of this lawsuit. Ness, that's in our. Can we link that one up too? We'll link up this current Inman article. We do that in all of our YouTube descriptions. There's a ton of information out there about it. Swanepoel Summit, we've covered that. They went through this. They actually brought an attorney in.
Holla.
Episode 68. So you can kind of check our initial take on that.
Last time I think we referenced episode 69. This one we're at 68.
We're in the high.
We primed at the late 60s.
The high 60s were our glory days. What was Tom Ferry?
67
or 69?
What happened?
He was
What
67.
happened to us?
The late 60s.
I think it's your Madison sweatshirt. It's throwing off your mojo, dude.
Madison CT. No, those late 60s were great. Maybe that's when Inman really recognized us for that innovator award.
I feel like maybe the 70s are just like, we're high.
Oh, by the way, little
the 80s will be great.
Update from last episode. Inman did reach out, thanks to you guys.
They did reach out. They're not even giving us a ticket to get in, but they want us to sit on the...
They said we could come and speak if we can get to Las Vegas. I've traveled with Nicole before, so I don't think that's going to happen this time, but it might. I told Inman we'll get back to him by the end of the week.
Okay.
We want to be out there, by the way. We want to go to Inman Connect. I've been to New York.
I haven't. I've been to New York, but not.
We haven't been to Vegas. This is the first or second year they're doing Vegas. They usually do San Francisco.
So I've never actually. So maybe you don't want to go with me because I've actually never been to Vegas.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to go for that. That would be a racket. Are you kidding me?
That's okay. We'll do like a.
I'll be texting Nicole like, hey,
I can make my own vlog.
We're going on a panel or whatever the heck. They wanted us to actually do a little it wasn't a panel. It was a thing about podcasting. We should look and see if we can pull it off.
Yeah,
but
you don't give me any information.
the information is they want us to come out for like
Okay.
10 minutes.
That's all I need to know?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Do we want to do that or not? We got to decide. But I'll be texting you, right? And you'll be like, no, there's a pool party happening.
A pool party.
I
Oh my
didn't
God.
know.
Okay. First of all, I would not ever be at a pool party. That would never actually be a text you would ever see coming from me.
Oh, I took a massage. Did you know there was like 37 different spas in Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Did you know that?
or like that had a bar. Did you know that
Right.
the spas here had bars?
Let's get into the real racket, not the Vegas racket.
Yeah,
the real racket.
This is a good article. There were lots of words in this article. I had a tough time.
Here are my interesting takeaways
Mm-hmm.
from the amended lawsuit. And the suit, remember, includes NAR,
Mm-hmm.
Realogy Holdings Corp., Keller Williams Realty, Remax LLC,
Mm-hmm.
Home Services of America, Inc., and Home Services subsidiaries, BHH affiliates, and some Long and Foster and some other BHHS companies. They amended some company names. They didn't even have the company names right in the beginning. So that was one amendment. There's
That's a racket.
72 pages in the amendment, which was twice as long as the original complaint. And really their focus is that when you go onto the MLS, you have to make a blanket offer of compensation. A blanket offer meaning, hey, if any buyer broker as the listing broker brings an offer, the compensation is going to be X percentage of the sale of the home. And that's coming out of the percentage, obviously, that the listing broker signed with the seller.
Right.
What they're claiming is that buyer brokers are steering buyers, and I don't know, they didn't use this word, but I guess to prove this, that there would have to be this overwhelming steering happening, or
Right.
I'm not an attorney. So, by the way, we're not attorneys, and all of the opinions on this show are our opinions. So do not sue us for any of the shit that we're going to talk on this show. That's my little disclaimer. You can put a little flashing disclaimer right there.
You just like to
so
have
I'll-
things flash up on the screen.
Yeah, just flash some stuff
He
up
likes
there.
to just flash you.
But, to prove that people are steering buyers, an interesting point they made was that the buyers don't know, okay, we're going to go look at these 4 homes. They don't know what the compensation
Right.
is. Only that buyer broker sees that through
Right.
the MLS. They're
Yep.
the only ones that see broker comments,
Right.
things like
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, in your experience, this is such a micro look, do you see buyer brokers steering?
I don't. I have no idea.
due to
I don't
commission.
even know. I don't have any idea. I mean, I think that if you're really sort of concentrating on that, then you just don't have enough deals. Like you're holding on to each individual deal. But I can't say that I've ever seen it. Have agents discussed it before? Of course. But I've never actually encountered an agent where they self-admittedly haven't gone to a property. I've had agents call me and ask me about compensation, or if I'm not offering out the same amount that like we're keeping, like I get questioned. So
And with our listings, we're giving them the sheet of what we're offering to a buyer broker. I've been saying this forever. The commission on buyer brokers is being compressed, not only because of a lawsuit like this, just because of the value trade-off. Because I actually think the properties are being steered by the buyers themselves.
Yeah.
Buyers have all the information of the properties they want to go see.
Yeah.
And they're letting their buyer broker know way more than 50% of the time, or 50% of the buyer broker relationships,
Yeah.
which ones they actually want to go see.
it's interesting though, because if you
It's
read
based off of what they like. too.
Right. But what's interesting, though, is if you read the article, it actually sounds like they're trying to make the reverse happen. It sounds like that based on this, they're actually trying to make sure that buyer brokers' commission is saved.
Paid by the buyer.
Is that what you're getting from that?
I'm getting that
I'm getting that they're trying really hard to make sure that once the offer is submitted, a listing agent isn't changing the commission.
No,
They're making it sound like that
No.
they want buyer brokers to be paid fairly.
No. They want buyers to pay the buyer broker the complaint in this lawsuit.
I'm not getting that.
Yeah, I'm getting that. And maybe I'm misreading it, but that's absolutely what I'm getting.
It could totally be me. I got really hung up on the fact that on some MLSs, you're actually able to like only show the based on commissions, like whatever the listing
Yeah, I mean,
agent.
like Las
I had
Vegas,
no idea.
you can as a buyer, broker, or as any agent, you can now filter through properties based off of
commission being
and you could
offered.
theoretically,
What?
according to this article, which we'll link up, this Inman article,
That's
which we'll
why
link
the
up,
lawsuit. That's enough. That's enough evidence right
that
there
they're
to
saying
show that they're steering.
that you could send your
What?
client. I don't see this on our MLS, by the way.
mean,
That you could
what?
send your client properties only above X commission. This lawsuit, too, just another little fun fact, if you read this article, this lawsuit references a bunch of previous Inman articles. So Inman, big shout out to you. You were heavily mentioned in this lawsuit without
first
being
of
a
all,
defendant, which is good.
Oh, I was going to say, but it's also a... Well, anyway, keep going.
So, I mean, here's one thing that I guess I'll point out is that they're also claiming a seller cannot respond to purchase offers with a counteroffer that is conditional on reducing the buyer broker commission.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the lawsuit is really actually helping to... So, because they're also talking about the fact that buyers agents are saying that they're free, right?
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, if you're a buyer broker, you should never say my services are free.
Right.
That's a stupid thing to say.
Because then when the buyer
it's just not
is
true.
right, because then when the buyer is going back as a counter with that being attached, they're like, well, but my agent is free. Why would my offer then be contingent on their commission rate?
As a buyer broker, I am paid by the listing broker, which is absolutely a part of the total sales price, right? Here's what happens, though, for everybody that owns real estate right now in America. If this changed and buyers were now paying their buyer broker directly, one, you'd see basically buyer broker commissions for all you buyer brokers go down to basically nothing like it is in other countries.
Right.
Number two, it would go down to nothing because they literally the entire market would just completely go down based off of the fact. And it would go down way more than the couple percents of commission that buyer brokers are getting, because they would be able to afford much less. If you talk to any mortgage lender, much less if they are paying this commission out of pocket because it's eating up their down payment.
Well, it's all their down payment in some situations.
Their ratios are going to be whacked.
For sure.
You know, not being able to mortgage this commission that is basically due in the transaction to their buyer broker. By not being able to mortgage that, the entire market goes down significantly, way more than the percentage the buyer broker is picking up now. So this is not only, you know, these 6 homeowners or whatever, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is in the amended version that are coming together for this class action suit really hurt the 65% of Americans that are homeowners if this were to happen. Like, really big time. But there's a lot more information to come. We're going to link up the current Inman article that we referenced. I want to link up that CNN article because I think that's a good overview if people aren't familiar with what's going on.
Yeah, maybe I need to reread that article.
And do you think the amendments are a racket? What do you think?
No. I mean,
Attorney Nicole.
I think I'm just the whole thing is eye opening to see.
I think it'll be a major racket if they pull it off. I don't think they will. I think it could definitely change some things going forward. All right. Racket number 2, should we do away with single family zoning? This is another Inman article, and they're really talking about cities here, like always. You know, they're always just talking about the cities.
I mean, that's all we care about, right? I mean, no one lives anywhere else.
Should more American cities do away with single family zoning? When you go through this article, they're talking about allowing more multifamily development certainly in small little towns that we deal with here in Connecticut are not traditionally, you know, approved very easily. We have some fans over here.
We have some fans.
Or some kids running around the office.
Well, that's all the fans we get.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we've got.
I mean, we take what we can get.
People historically, these towns and cities have pushed back against too much multifamily. And, you know, back in the 60s, 70s, you know, everybody wanted a single family home. That was the American dream. Well, the dreams have changed a little bit. Our lifestyle certainly has changed a little bit. People need more of this communal living, not necessarily condos, but a community where, yeah, there are some townhouses, there are some, affordable housing. That Google news that we were talking about earlier is pretty interesting with the affordable housing investment they're making of $1 billion.
Gotta.
But you can't solve the problem. New York City went through it with the Amazon of having affordable housing. If you don't, and New York City doesn't have single family homes, but if you don't have other options for people to live, the single family home zoning pushes geographically people out further, which does cause these traffic jams coming into the city, the smog, all these different things. I think they should. I'm a big advocate of updating zoning because it's the year 2019.
Right.
I don't want to follow zoning like we're sitting in Guilford, Connecticut. Okay, for example, if you go down to the Guilford Green in this beautiful New England town, I love this town, by the way.
Yeah.
And if you go down to the Green, you're going to see nothing but 1700 and 1800 built homes, maybe some 1900s, maybe.
A few.
But you're talking about 1700s. We just sold one that was built before our country. It was built in 1730, before our country started. When did it start? 76, Ness? Look that one up. Let's fact check that.
Wow,
I think
you're
it was
throwing out facts
1776.
here without even.
No,
I'm just,
Declaration of Independence, 1776, 1730 for this house.
You're awesome.
I would absolutely. We're not living like we did in the 1700s. We're not riding a horse and buggy.
Right.
I would change all these. I would rip half these antiques down, for example. But getting back to the multifamily thing, what's your take on multifamilies? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
No, I mean, I guess I feel I'm great with it. I'm fine with multifamilies. I think that
She loves it.
I do. I love it. I think that there could probably be some restriction maybe on like size and the amount of units, things of that nature. Because I do understand, just obviously we're up against sewers there because we're more accustomed to septic systems here, because that would obviously be a little bit of a concern too, just like waste and things of that nature. But I do think that you could probably regulate maybe like the size just to keep the amount of, the amount of population. But I agree with you. I mean, I'm not a city girl. I've never lived in the city. I mean, New Haven to me is like the city as it gets. So, I'm certain that there is probably a need for it, even though I'm not in the city. But I agree with you. I mean, if you have, 4 homes as opposed to potentially like 8 dwellings, you're right. I mean, people are having to go a little bit further that you're not able to afford. It becomes a little cumbersome.
where we are right now, age-wise in this country. You've got all these baby boomers that want more easier living.
Well, right. Or you want to live with them. Like you want in-laws living with you.
But you want to live close to them because you don't necessarily want to live with them. Like, do you want to live with your mom or your in-laws?
Nance is great. I think I'd love a wall.
Do you want to live?
No, I don't.
Just because your mom watches the show?
I've lived with her before and I left.
I said to my hairdresser last night, I said, shout out to Danielle. If she's watching all the way to this, she'll
You got your hair cut?
Yeah.
I didn't
you didn't even pick
on
up on it. You're slacking.
It's the shirt. The shirt was so distracting.
If I ever say to you ever in my life, hey, I'm going to be moving back in with my parents for a little bit. It's just like kind of like which I think is practical advice for a lot of people in between moves, like moving with your parents, save the money for 6 months. I think it's very practical advice, good advice, and everybody should be doing it. But if particularly I do it, if I ever say to you, hey, thinking about moving my parents for like 3 months, I just, I'm in this middle of this thing. It means I am suicidal at that time. Yeah. Like I am literally like off the reservation. It's interesting though because you moved our office my mind
into your parents' basement.
That is true.
I mean,
and then I moved it right out of there.
Yeah, but you were. I mean, it hung out there for a little while.
But at no time in my life should if I ever say to you things are great, but I'm moving in, things are not great.
I'm not moving in with her. Like she has her own dwelling in the back, and I'm in the and like there's like child care.
So people want to live close.
She likes to fold laundry. I mean, there's benefits.
You can't live close if people are trying to downsize. If all you've got is single family options, and you have to move in these neighborhoods. Oh, you go buy a 2,500 square foot house. I'll buy a 2,500 square foot house.
Well, we see that even in this beautiful town of Guilford. I mean, people want to downsize. There was never an option. Now there's an option. And people are buying them.
Guilford's actually pretty good about the zoning downtown where you can build a lot of times a second dwelling on the property if it conforms.
Well, downtown for sure. Oh yeah. Like my house is a 2-family.
Yeah. It's zoned 2-family, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of these that have an extra building in the back,
yes.
which I think is awesome because then you can the in-law or whoever is going to live in the back,
Or
and
so
they've
many
got
people
their own
that are
door.
working from home now, though. You at least now have the ability to sort of like work from home, but like not in your home too.
This is not a racket. It's 2019. We need to change the zoning laws with how we live today, not how we lived in the past. Don't get romantic. Don't go to town halls fighting the romantic look of your town. That's really a loser mentality if you're one of those people.
Wow.
Straight up loserville.
Doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
All right. Racket number 3. Nicole,
Yes.
this was your favorite racket of the day.
That was not true. It was mesmerizing.
There is a home in Atlanta that just hit the market for $1.25 million, and it doesn't even have a front door.
Not to mention the lot is 18 feet. 18 feet.
I didn't catch that. What do you mean by
18
that?
feet.
Oh
the
my
lot
gosh.
is 18 feet
Suave,
wide.
you got to put this picture up.
I mean,
Look at this.
It's 8. There can't be a front door. If you had a front door on this house, you
We'll
wouldn't
link
even
up the
have any
article, but-
room to do it. Like, so a door is typically at 3 feet. Like you couldn't, like it would be the biggest waste of square footage to actually have a front door.
How do you get into this house,
You
Nicole?
have to go down a ramp underneath it. There's not even a driveway on the side because the lot isn't even wide enough.
I like
so you're
those-
pretty much pulling into your home.
I like those walls. You
'Cause
don't
you-
have to put anything on those walls.
I mean-
they speak for themselves.
18 feet. That's not even a 2-car garage width. A 2-car garage is what? 24? 24 is a 2-car garage. I mean, you have just a 1-car garage underneath.
Look at that twilight, though.
No, it's beautiful.
Is that hot?
Yeah, no, the photographer's fabulous.
That's a
we
great
should hire
photographer.
Norman. I mean, he's great. I feel though, based on the pictures, it's a little prison-like. It's a lot of cement. But look at it. I mean, hello.
Yeah,
There can't be any zoning laws in Atlanta for that. I mean, it takes up your whole lot. Like that car right there out of the window. Yep, that's the neighbor's. Like that's not even your car. Like your car's underneath. That's all you have the ability to do is to park underneath.
Yeah, I don't need a front door.
You can't. You can't in this house. There's no room for a front door.
You can't do it.
You can't. There's no room.
But do you need one? You don't
well,
use. Oh, you guys use your front door
Well,
once
for
a year
my-
on Halloween.
Yeah, and my children go to the bus when they're like
they-
like running out to get to the bus. It's usually the front door. Yes.
All right.
No, I don't need a front door, but you legitimately cannot have a front door.
I like the house. I don't think this is a racket. I don't want a front door now either.
It's
Even though I use
oh
my
God,
front door
that's
because
so funny. You would do that though on purpose just so that nobody can come to your door.
no front door.
You would want that for a completely different reason than size. It would just be like I could just see it now, like it's all taped up. Like
In our other office, I'm gonna get rid of the door
In
and
the
I'm gonna
front.
create a tunnel so nobody even knows
A
if I'm in the
tunnel.
office or not. Yeah,
my goodness, you're gonna use a tunnel?
I'm gonna use a tunnel to get into the office. Yeah,
That's interesting.
no door.
No.
Get rid of the doors.
It does though.
Panic rooms only.
What is interesting though is I'm interested to see if it sells because it sounds like it is the most expensive home on the street. It sounds like there's some Victorians and traditional colonials and stuff in the neighborhood. I'm assuming that their lots are larger than 18 feet.
Tiny little lot. I love it.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all goes down. But now that it's been an Inman, maybe that's jacking up the price. And now that you're on the real word, it's
Now,
probably worth
they're on the-
1.5.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, jeez. Throw us
Anyway.
a referral fee.
there was a referral
All
fee
right.
on that one. And like, look though, there must have been something going
What else
on
you got?
though.
You got
Well,
something
if you
else?
look at the roof, it's like a weird angle. Like there must have been some sort of height restriction
Yeah.
that they had
That's a
to
good call.
manipulate on that one. But anyway,
Attorney Nicole, architect Nicole, she does it all.
I am not an attorney. Didn't we have it just pop
During
up
the last-
already?
Yeah, we did the pop up.
We
That
did the
was
pop-up.
mostly for me, so I don't get sued. All right, we're gonna link this up. That's another Inman. That's 3 Inman articles.
We love Inman.
So if you do want to cover that plane ticket out to
I mean,
Inman Connect Las
something.
Vegas here in July, we're happy to accept.
Wait, or if they don't, at least give us the award.
That, by the
I
way, the
mean-
Inman Connect Las Vegas is, and they're not paying us to say this. Clearly, they won't even pay for us to come out and speak. We
No.
love you, Inman. It's July 23rd
But they did pay for
through
my
the
membership
26th.
though. They did pay for my membership.
No, our board pays for it.
No.
But then
remember
they
and
they
we
double
gave it
paid.
away.
We got
yeah.
we gave that one away.
Yeah.
That's going to be at Aria. Maybe we'll be there. Stay tuned. Jack up Inman. Tell them to pay for
What's
us
the date?
tickets.
What's the date?
July 23rd to the
Third.
26th.
Okay, I can do
More or
that.
less, yeah.
I'm
All right.
available.
Keep it real. Let Inman know to fly us out. Put it in the comments.
Bye, guys.